Are we getting here, guys? I am so sorry about that. Hopefully we can go ahead and send this link around if you don't mind. Whoever has showed up already. All right. Thank you, Jackie. That was really weird. I had to go and change it in advanced settings. So crazy. Oh, and Allison, hey, thanks for coming. Looking forward to going over some sweet, sweet rocks. And the adventure closet is here. Liz and Charlie, good to see you guys. I still have to watch your, the goat? I need to see the goat in action. It's freezing in Portland. I'm so sorry, Lisa. Isn't it weird? It was like in a blink of an eye, we went from gorgeous tank top and shorts temperatures. Basically, we came back from mining and it was like leave in shorts, come back in a parka. So I'm totally hearing that. Oh, hey, Ken, good to see you. I need to find this too. So thank you, Patrick. I just got a message that Patrick found it. It is the goat. All right. Well, thank you guys for refining it. And like what was so sad is that it was a beautiful, seamless segue from Patrick's beautiful documentary. Thank you, Patrick. Hey, Spot. Hey, Manny. And that would have been so cool. But yeah, my phone had to go and ruin it. I'm going to blame it on my phone. It's totally user error, of course, I'm sure in some way. I just didn't understand what was going on. Hey, Brian. Oh, wow. Snow already for you guys. Northern Rocks is here. Hey, good to see you. All right, so we're finding it. Blame the AI overlords, right, Ken? Totally. And Jeff is here. Hey, good to see you guys. I'm gonna try to find this thing on my computer as well. Oh, there I am. Okay, so that I can see the chat when I. Oh, there I am. When I fall behind, at least I can see it on my screen. Oh, did it happen to you too, Manny? Oh, no. Oh gosh, yeah. Well, it kept on saying in the screen, turn your device around. You're doing it wrong. The AI overlords were angry with me. Hey, Jim, how you doing? We already are off to a weird start. Just gonna mess everything up. Okay, so we're gonna start off while we're waiting for people to land with wrong answers only. Why did Karen get pepper sprayed today? Wrong answers only. And go. You didn't, it didn't redirect from your TV, huh, Patrick? Huh. Yeah, it gave me a big link on my desktop, so maybe it's different. Oh, and Randy was over there waiting for us all to land on the original live stream. So I'm glad, Randy, that you found us. Okay, we got bear attack. The bear pepper sprayed me, right? That's the explanation. A squirrel. So hey, Thirst. Good to see you, Thirst Fast. Thank you. Okay, so a squirrel pepper sprayed me, or I was spraying the squirrel. Wrong answers only. She kicked a security guard at the mall trying to steal her snow cone. This is pretty good. Jackie knows me so well. I'm such a peaceful warrior, though. Okay, I confused it for a bananka. Yeah, nice. The bananka blast. I haven't heard of that for quite some time. That's great. Pepper spray label looks like spray sunscreen label. That's very good, actually. Yeah, that could have happened, actually. I like that. So spot on that one. Ken says she tried mugging some little old lady for her baked goods. It was that jelly donut you were talking about, Ken, back in Patrick's video. Like, yeah, I was hungry for donuts. Move out the way. And the lady had the pepper spray in her big, you know, like the lady bags that are just giant and made out of some sort of like couch fabric, you know, the ones where they like dig in and there's like everything. It's like a magic bag where you just, you know, nothing up my sleeve, and then presto. Karen was skinny dipping. Right? And I needed to be pepper sprayed because it was in the municipal fountain downtown. That's what was happening with that. Let's see. Oh, hey, I'm on the live stream.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Sure.
Cheers. Everybody say hi, Steve.
All right.
So it's okay. He didn't have to get into the frame. Okay. Say what you will about bear spray. It stings like hell, but I've never been bit by a bear. Allison says, cheers, Steve. I don't know. Ken just might have won that one. Okay, Patrick ran out of black pepper for the eggs and desperate for a substitute, and things got out of hand. Patrick, that's pretty good. Now, and why he didn't get his treats on time, says Jackie, and so he was the one that pepper sprayed me. Chuck Norris got scared. I like that, Manny. Let's see. I'm still a little verklempt from that. Patrick, what was really weird, all y'all out there, if you've ever been pepper sprayed before, the smell of it afterwards did make me hungry for like spicy eggs, you know, like huevos rancheros or something. Lisa says hi to Steve too. I think he like motored on out. He just got home late from work, and so he was saying a howdy do and brought me a little something to calm my nerves from the incident. Pepper sack and some crazy fossil, right? There's fast like there's a new dinosaur that we have just discovered, and it held this strange pepper sack while I was prepping this new thing that we knew nothing about. Poof, and I got the capsaicin award. Patrick says hi and bye to Steve. Tried to rock hound the stone out of a lady's ring. Yeah. Urban rock hounding, right? That's interesting. It could happen at some. It's the hair of the dog, LOL. Right? I'm serious. I was like, as soon as I got home, I needed to put my clothes in the laundry and, you know, take a shower and get all of that out of, you know, off my clothes, out of my hair, out of my system. Yeah, and I was just having like this hunger for spicy food. The hair of the dog. Okay, Ken says that he has been pepper sprayed twice by the same can. No. Once when the stupid kids tried jumping me with it, and I took it off him. Oh. And the second when my roommate sat on my jacket. All right. Well, I'm sorry that you had a misfire. And that's interesting that you were able to wrangle the pepper spray away from folks that were using on you, because, oh my gosh, it is so uncomfortable. Karen was an innocent bystander, I'm sure. She was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time. Indeed. I'll get you the story here in a second. I'm so enjoying all these scenarios, though. You were hanging from a tree and people thought you were an alien. Indeed, with my my antenna and everything. Your eyes and face sure look clear for being pepper sprayed. I'm pretty sure I would look like a tomato. I'm a little I'm definitely still sinusy, and I'm a little bit hoarse and irritated in the throat still. I think that should do though. I just got a little bit. I just thought that the story was so sensational that I'd let you guys run with this for a little bit. But I got. It was kind of like if you're not standing directly in the line of the skunk, but if you're close enough, then yeah, you're getting some. I guess in this case, I was sitting on the skunk, and Ken's gonna enjoy this. I'm giving hints on what happened here. Let's see. Were you on Hot Ones? Is this from The Last Dad? Yeah. I think this is what you do before you go on Hot Ones, and then you don't end up getting bit by the super hot. You last till the end with like the cool, calm, and collect, and everybody's wondering how that's at all possible. Might have to try that. Did I go to Kyle's house and try to take yard rocks? That's exactly what happened. And Kyle didn't even have to come out of his house. You know, he has those cameras, and he had a system already set up where it's just, you know, psst, and you're out. Audition for a new Jackass movie. Manny, you got that. Did I get it? Did I get the part? I'm still waiting to hear from my agent. Okay. So I'll go ahead and just do the reveal now. I'm going to turn all this strange lo-fi music. I'm hired. Thank you. I'm surprised I'm not already on one of those, actually. Strange framing there. I definitely do all my own stunts. I wish they paid me better though. So what happened was that I was trading off the truck from Steve, and you know, we've just been camping. We're always pretty serious about safety during camping, and you never know. We camped in the berriest feeling, cougariest little forest on the way out to the Sunstone mines, and I was pretty seriously like, okay, where's the spray? I definitely want to know where everything is. And I actually didn't know. We were up in the tent top, the truck rooftop tent, and I was thinking like, you know, would make an awfully interesting, you know, little snack up here. And I think Steve had something on him, but at any rate, so I was sitting in the seat today, and he's got much longer legs than me. If you've ever seen him in any of the videos, you'd probably notice that. Hold on. Did you snag one of those don't touch fossil rocks y'all have out there? I don't know. Held the can backwards. No, not yet. I haven't done that yet. Although, you know, with the kind that you can do that are a little bit smaller, that you'd like take, say, jogging or running in a place that might be dangerous, which I definitely have my small version, you can do that. So I always check it and try to know where it's at when I carry that bad boy. But I'm sitting in the seat, and we have the adjustment for how forward or back the seat is, and it's electric. So I hit that thing, and I'm sitting there, I'm like listening to my music, all waiting to like roll out, and I hear tss. It was under the seat, and it must have just maneuvered it perfect to hit the button, and like while it was rolling, it must have like taken that cap thing away, right? Rotated the cap away and hit the button somehow. I don't know how my seat could have possibly done it, but it did. And I'm sitting there and I'm hearing just this noise, you know, snaky air escaping noise. And for a second, you know, what is that? Is that outside? Because music. And oh my gosh, Allison, your friend did that? No way. Yeah, and so I'm hearing this terrible sound, and so I figured, because I started hearing it from the seat, like start rolling the seat back, and I look down, and yeah, there's like the spray has gone off all over my shoes, and spicy ghost snake. Yes, Patrick, that's exactly what it was. My spicy ghost snake was there on the floor, and I had disengaged it happily, and so yeah, I'm gonna read these comments going by really fast, and then I'll tell you what the outcome was. Yeah, total final destination. They bailed out of the car and smeared their faces in some guy's grass. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, it did suck so bad. Don't do that. Just don't. Similar thing happened in a helicopter with bear spray. Oh man. Yeah, I would not want to be stuck in a helicopter. At least I could hop out. For all that to have happened, karma must have been involved. I hope not. Or maybe that's good, because then I've baited off. Boy, I try to be a good girl. Got pepper sprayed by the car or truck. It's, yeah, my truck, my taco. It's a spicy taco, a Tacoma. And so I'll be darned if the taco, like, you know, pulled a switcheroo on me there. And so the multiverses overlords were doing a comparative experiment on two different worlds. One Karen was exposed to a saline salt spray, and the other to a pepper spray operation. Salt and pepper was a success. John, awesome. I love that. I'm gonna use that. I'm using that. Yeah, and so I just happened to be in the parking lot of Steve's work, because I was dropping him off to do some errands this afternoon, and so I jump out while he's with me. He's like sitting in there. He hasn't started melting down yet, although I'm barely breathing. And so like I swing he's in the back. And so I swing the door open, and while he hops out, you know, and he seemed pretty unaffected. And so apparently like the cloud hadn't reached back to him, but I had it on me. And so I couldn't get away from myself. I'm like, you know, trying to like have it stop. And it was mostly coughing and burning my eyes, and like I said, the entire respiratory tract. I called Steve, and it was still linked to the truck, so he could hear me far away. Like, and so he came out. Needless to say, it was a really interesting situation, and you know, I'm okay. And maybe it wasn't quite as exciting as some of your stories, and so I might just use those instead. Karen gets naked on some guy's grass. Right, like your friends that were wiping. I'm serious, though, at one point. I was like, I need to get out of these clothes. And what ended up happening was Steve drove me, like, got the mat out of the truck. I washed my shoes at his work, and I was like, I'm still not okay. And so he's like, can you drive? And I'm like, I'm not driving that truck. So he's like, okay, I'll drive you home. And yeah, I couldn't wait to get out of my clothes, though. Had I been anywhere else, had we been on one of our camping expeditions, I would have been out of them clothes for sure. But I just didn't think that, again, like deciding to take a a dip in the municipal fountain would be appropriate for around here, or at Steve's work for that matter. That would have been exciting. So please tell me there's a video of Karen running into a 7-Eleven dousing herself with milk. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I have a great remember when, and I'll just add some spicy food to my next shopping list. And so right, I'll let Steve know he's a lucky guy. He may have gotten a raise. Oh my goodness, you just don't even know. The location would have been so hilarious. Awesome story. Sunstones. Okay, thirst fast. We're getting to it. Thank you for being patient through my indulgent story. Right. Spot, I told that story just so that I'd make everybody else feel good about all of their problems, right? So I got this box. I was gonna do the box really quick, and then we'll get on to the Sunstones. And because I have some thank yous that I need to dispense. First of all, Angie, I didn't see her in the chat, and so hopefully Angie came along, and she gifted me some. Everybody's feeling better now. Yay! So if you were watching Kyle's live sale, I think it was not the last one, but the one before that. I don't even know what day it is right now. It's been such a long day. But she won in an auction, I think, the entire chunk of this, and she asked Kyle to slab this bad boy for me. And gift it, send it, and it was my birthday, and so this was awfully nice. What a cool surprise. Isn't that beautiful? So I'm really excited. Thank you, Angie. This was one of the things that she gifted me. And then the other thing is this piece of gorgeous lace agate, and so this is very, very exciting. Thirst Fast, I believe it's maybe malachite and sulfides. There's the stuff in Canada that looks a lot like that also. Jared Cliffwalker Rocks had some interesting material that was kind of like it. So, and thank you for the happy birthday there. I believe that it's a mystery to me right now, and Kyle had it in his pile, Kyle's pile, and he wasn't quite sure, and so I'm going to polish some, and that will be a good hardness test. I can hopefully figure out what it is. It's gorgeous though. It feels like it's not it. Let me hold it up one more time. I'm sorry. It's greener in the picture here. It's got, this was from your stash of Laguna. Oh my gosh, Jeff, I'm so excited. Yes, cool. Okay, so I'm going to tangent hard here. I'm like, I pretty puppies and butterflies right now. My head's scattered. But just answering the question, these areas are more blue in person. And so at first glance, I would almost think that it was malachite-ish, but it's got more of like a variscite turquoise look to it. Although, it's very pooly. So I don't know, some kind of like a green jasper. It's going to be all about the hardness test, I believe. And again, Jeff said that this is part of his Laguna lace. And y'all, I have a serious weakness for pretty lace. And this is that. So pretty. So, somebody's gonna wear a stocking cap. I missed something. Watch out, Allison. There's another bug looking. So stocking caps are personal protective items. Yeah. Yeah, Jackie, a moment for Cliff Walker, Jared, and our beloved sweet Jim. Actually, I don't usually do this, but Steve brought me a thing in a glass that I'm gonna do in person. And so it's just innocuous juice. Chrysoprase, great idea. I would love for that to be exactly that. We're gonna find out. How are we gonna find out, Karen? They're just big slabs. How are you gonna get those down to polish them? Or are you gonna polish them with your wet angle grinder? Well, if you look out the window, that's Oregon abysmal out there. And I think that angle grinding season might be over unless I want to do it actually in the torrential rain, which is sad because I didn't get anywhere near enough of that done. So y'all, I've been complaining about getting into doing more cutting, but I have a really tired saw blade, right? Does the green portion of the stone feel cold? Oh, you guys, that feels so good. Can you see I am rosy cheeked? I mean, I guess I always am, but like, yeah, that feels great. I think it's it does feel cold. It could be some kind of jade. It's not like jade I've seen before, but I haven't seen it all. Everybody else almost saw it all today, but I haven't. So it could be. And so we'll add that to the possibilities. That feels so good, you guys. Yeah, all right. That was a great idea. And thank you for coming into the chat, Pigeon Blood Ruby. Love it. Good to see you. And let's see. Brian. Jeff is out there somewhere. Didn't Jeff enter the building? Did I say Jeff instead of Brian? It's possible. Does pepper spray do stuff to your head? Maybe. I'm gonna blame it on that. Let's see. Don't usually see blue on the fringes in praise. Malachite sure looks to azure though. Likes to azure. Ah, cool. Thirst fast. Thank you for the information there. If you do it in the rain, you won't have to hook up the hose. Yeah. Just make sure that thing is grounded. I love playing with electronic instruments in the rain. It's a good thing. It's freezing outside. I'm under a blanket. I hear ya, Lisa. Keep warm, girl. Scuffed jade. Veracite. Yeah, I was wondering about that too, Jenny. Yeah, I've been going back and forth between being really cold today and really hot. And Steve and I caught something either right before or during our trip also. So I've been kind of sick. And so I apologize if I missed any of your premieres out there or haven't watched your videos yet. It's been a week. And so, yeah, I can't tell if I'm hot or cold, and I'm very, very cold at times and then very, very hot. And that's not a good thing. Summer is here in Oz. Oh, that's awesome, Manny. Seriously, that's good times for you guys. We're gonna, high five you on the way out, and we're gonna flippity flop it. So we're going into our winter, and you guys are going into your summer. Have a good one. It's spring, but it's getting hot as HE double hockey sticks. So yeah, that's awesome. Manny's over there in Oz or Australia. Those of you who might not know, there might be some lurkers out there. let's see. Pigeon Blood Ruby says, wait, where'd it go? Oh no, the message was retracted before my very eyes. Let's just get into it. Sounds like you 2 weeks ago. Sorry, Ken. Yeah, you were just talking about getting over something, right? I think everybody's getting that, that first kicker in for the season because all the kids went back to school and like all the germs are just having this like total rugby scrum, right? And so, yeah, I caught the ball. Real malachite will feel heavy and will always be ice cold to the touch, just like jade, no matter how long it is held. This got warm, I think. Like I said, I've got temperature problems, but I feel like this absorbed some of my heat. That's fascinating, Pigeon Blood Ruby. You know a lot about this, and I'm really appreciating the information. All the old people come back to Florida. Oh, that's right. It's the gray wave, or the what do they call them? Birds, snowbirds, sandbirds. Same theory as the kids going back to school. Yeah. I think the last part of the identification is BS. Oh no. We'll never know. We'll never know who you are. But I am fawning over it. I love it. And this is like, hey, Kyle, if you're out there, this is like a fatty slice. Thank you so much. I mean, I can probably draw from like this orientation, or I can cut it and maybe even cut it again. Or if I'm doing carving like I did with the turquoise, it's going to give me a lot of fun. I'm wondering about that matrix material. It almost looks gritty enough that I might have to do some kind of stabilization. I hope not. Does light shine through it? I don't believe so. You guys just reminded me, though, I had wanted to set up my light bar. And I don't have the plug for it, so it might not last very long, but we'll do that. Okay, so really quick, because I think Thirst Fast is going to completely lose it if I don't get around to these sunstones. And so, oh, hey, Travis is in the house. Good to see ya. Thank you. And so I don't see any light. It's very opaque. And so there's that. How am I going to cut them? You guys, I have a tired, worn out blade. Somebody in the community that wished to remain anonymous bought me the blade, you guys. No worry, enjoying the green rocks. Okay, cool. We pulled it out there. Some sort of choya? Huh. So anyways, if you're out there, because I don't know who got this for me, thank you so much. I was beyond moved when I opened up the box. Like, I'm getting a little choked up right now because I really needed it, and I was having a hard time, scratching the, like, you're always trying to deliberate the funds in one direction or another, and it just wasn't happening. And so I'm just so excited, and I got toys rocks, sort of like toys to play with. And you know that the queue for the saw is probably pretty long right now anyway, but these are going first. We're gonna have some fun with those. So thank you, Angie, and thank you, anonymous community member. Let me just take a moment right now to honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I love all you guys because our community is amazing. We so take care of each other, and you guys are so generous. I watch just the most generous things happen, while I'm lurking on the videos, or especially when I'm at Kyle's lives and that sort of thing, just the gifting and all the things that you guys do for each other. And I'm just amazed, where else is there a community that does this? Let's see. Like Jackie's like Chrysocolla? Chola. Or we would say Choya, in a place where I used to live. How much do those blades cost? They're expensive. You know, it's just expensive enough that I'm like, okay, it's gotta wait in line with some of the other stuff. I'm back. That is really expensive. That is part of our hobby, as you guys know, or a profession, you know, for some of us. Added an H by mistake, haha. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it's Jackie, if you wanted to just look, because I don't want to mention, you know, amounts and stuff like that here. But it's the high tech centered thin diamond for 10 inch. You know, and you open that up at first and it's like, oh, those aren't that expensive, but that's like for the 4 inch. And then you like go up to the 10 and you're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna have to factor that into some things and go without some other things. And I mean, you know, it's just, there's a lot to this, as you guys know. Everybody's sort of planning, well, like, what wonderful thing do you want to add to your studio next? And what do the things in your studio, like the saws and the wheels, the different grinders or cabbing machines that you might have, your rotary tools, like the bits and the things, like there's just a faceting machine, and then materials. It's a lot. Okay, so Soul is in the house. And one thing I've learned is the value of a good dressing stone to keep diamond blades cutting like new until they die. Yeah, thirst fast. I would agree with you 100% on that. One of the problems that I had with that blade is that it's got a wonk on it as well. And I probably did that to it. I probably killed it with Montana agates, if I'm being honest. But it's not working properly, and it really wants to like overheat the machine. And so I was like, okay, even when I, you know, attempted sharpening and that sort of thing, it's still not having a good time. And so that is awesome advice for this future blade that I'm going to take such good care of and go without. You know, it's the beginning of the winter and my saw is inside. Both of the saws are inside. I've got the 10 inch and then I've got a 20. And so actually winter is cutting season. The summer is when we go out and get the stuff. So I'm excited because we're moving into the time in which I get to cut, polish, facet, and I'll still do some carving because I do have I have a bathroom that I take over during the winter time for some of the messy projects. I just don't like doing the spray tan, the Australian spray tan in there. Okay, so I am going to change us, and let's see, how do we do this best? We're gonna go and sit down on the desktop. There we go. Let's see. And we need to do that. There we go. Pounding season versus cutting season, right? Okay. So, bring in some Sunstones here. These are what you would expect to get and more, just depending on how many people are working for you. Got another light here. There we go. If you do a belt run at the Spectrum Mine, this is all of our spoils from that. And then I did a little bit of digging afterwards just because Denise was nice and let me. So let's see. Winter is my main cutting season too. It's not 93 degrees outside. Yep, it feels like 112 with 98 humidity, which is not awesome for trying to cut. Yeah, you can already see some red up in there, and that's dry. So how exciting is that? Yeah, it's been a great summer out here because it's been warmer than usual for the Oregon coast. This one that I have in water is just some of the stuff that I need to go through pretty quick because it was in the bag, nothing precious. Some digs that I didn't put in the pocket, but even when I was rotating that, I was trying to get the circle out of your way. You can still see, I guess it's time to zoom in, guys. Let's do that. Wait. You can see some schiller right there. I'm going to do the thing. Yeah. Okay. So schiller Mediller. Should have my tweezers. Yep, they're right there. So I'm gonna put that right there for a second. Grab my tweezers. So when you're sorting through these guys, obviously you guys want me to get to this one, which I'm going to get to really fast, but I just wanted to kind of give you an overview of, and I'm literally giving you an overview right now of what you might expect to see and find in case you go to the Spectrum Mine to do some sunstone mining. And these ones, like I said, I pulled these out of the wall. Nothing spectacular, but you could see the color while you were doing so. So that was kind of exciting to see some of the schiller come straight out of the ground. Okay, let's see. Not cheap. Nope. Hammer time. Let's see. Brutal winter. Yeah, heard that. And Randy is back. Had to move his tablet. So Randy, you should be happy because I'm going to be doing a bunch of more cut. Got a new blade. So over here is this is the matrix material. This is the basalt that carries the sunstone, and you can see there's some little sunstone nubblings right up on in there. They're little babies. But what's going on is this stuff is kind of easily eroded. It's very hard in some places, the matrix, and you know, kind of crumbly in others. In other videos I've shown kind of how crumbly this stuff can be. But at this layer, it was really hard. And so there's also like a short of me sort of chipping away at it, and it was not nice. I mean, it was wonderful being there and doing it, but it wasn't like it was just putting forth massive amounts of gems. And so as you're going through it, these different sunstones of the champagne variety were just coming out the wall too. And so this one, let's just grab that. There's your champagne. And it's hard to see when you're looking at it this way whether or not it's got inclusions. I think I've shown it here before and also in a video or two, but if I'm looking at faceting anybody who is big enough to facet, then I'm going to be checking on their inclusions, and the way I can do that is with wintergreen oil. Do not drink this. Talk about pepper spray. This wintergreen is some pretty gnarly stuff. And so as far as the refractive index goes, you dunk it in there and it's almost like having an x-ray machine through the skin of the stone. Like obviously these look better when they're wet, and even better than that is when they have what am I looking for here? When they're wet, and even better with the oil. My gosh, I just completely lost like 10,000 brain cells all at once somehow. Just slipped my mind. How about Patrick's beautiful documentary, you guys? Was that not amazing? Like, I felt like I was bumped up several IQ points just watching that. And apparently I just lost it all. So, traveling shower flip-flops. Yes, this is from Plush, Randy. This is from the Spectrum Mine. I did a belt run just in case because the weather was being dodgy. This is a bunch of champagnes and potentially some schillers that I haven't gone all the way through yet. So what I do as far as a pre-sort goes is I try to, like in a big salad bowl, I stick it all in water. I get the lights on. There was no sun. The best way to do it is in the sun because you're going to see the schiller and that sort of thing way better with the sunshine on it. But I go like probably knots or definitely knots going in a bin. And then I have the schiller me britches, which if I can see some schiller in it, then it goes in a different bin. And then I have the, oh my gosh, there's color in that, or so much schiller that I'm impressed bin. So let's see if we can't, let's do this. Put it on white so that you get a better backstop to it so that you can see the color. Now, one of the things about the Sunstones, specifically from the Spectrum and maybe from all of the Rabbit Hills, but I don't know. I've only been to the public, the Spectrum, the public area is free. It's just BLM, but there's very little in the way of color there unless maybe you dig a lot. But there's that, and then there's the dirt devil rather. My gosh, not the vacuum, but the mine, the Sunstone mine that Dawn used to own. And then I've been to the Spectrum. There's the Double Eagle that I still need to go to. Plenty of private claims that I'd love to chat with people about. But that's kind of the experience of the Rabbit Hills that I've had. And what I was getting into saying is just that some of the Sunstones that have the schiller also have color, and vice versa. You might have some color, and they have like mostly color, but then some schiller. And so I think this one's actually giving us a bit of an idea of exactly that. So I'm going to try to frame that and get closer. So this one has the schiller, but you can see that those edges are dark, and that's actually the color, the valence of the copper doing the tinting there, and that's how the Sunstones get their color. You see we've got the schiller is shining at us, and then we turn the corner and we're getting color, and it gets quite dark. In fact, it almost looks like there's a halo around that. And what we are seeing is the valence of the copper, the oxidation of that copper going into probably towards the green. And when you mix the green with the red, you get kind of a Coke bottle color, or Coke, not bottle color, the color of the Coca-Cola itself. So you can see up there at the top, that same halo is going on. So that's kind of a neat stone. Schiller made britches, exactly. Let's see. We get a lot from the public, then hit the mines. Yeah, it's so much fun to do the public searching, because you get to, you can dig if you want, you can ground collect if you want to. There's so much material that it really gives, it's just, you cannot lose. You will definitely find some fun stuff. Are those 2 bins everything you collected on my recent trip? These 4 bins, yeah, I've got 4 bins. I've got these two water bins. One is Like this little guy that I showed you first was unsorted. This is the like not sures and definitely nots. And these are the schillers, and then the high grades are next. And that is it from our recent trip. And we spent basically a half day at the Spectrum Mine doing it. The pink eye on the top. Oh, this guy over here. Is that the pink eye on the top? Or are we talking about the one that has color and is like in two lobes, which is really interesting. But yeah, you can see through the variation of this particular bin that, you know, you've got some schillers with color, but every single one of these stones in here has schiller. So of varying degrees, and you can see that color coming out as I kind of move some of these stones around. And so I'll like turn that for you. It's like one of those things where I should like, you know, leave the music on and just like, there you go, just rotate this around for the eye candy. This big glob tabular in the middle, I'm not sure if that actually has schiller in it. I think I might have just put it aside because, no, actually, I think it does have some color in there. Well, okay, back you go. You know, sometimes when you have really big stones, as far as Sunstone standards, that's a big one. That's a big one right there. I put them aside just because they're special. They're either carvers or, you know, I can see how much of that is usable for a larger cut stone when fastening. And so, you know, I think I've talked about this before. The Sunstones are so interesting to work with because you think, I've just got this fantastic stone. I can't wait to make a beautiful faceted gem out of it. And then you get a good look at it in the wintergreen. Well, for one thing, that's not very fat. So as far as depth goes, I don't have a whole lot to work with there. And then there's the orientation of the schiller. So when I orient the schiller right, what direction does the cut have to go to get it? And is that going to work with the dimension of the stone itself? And lastly, you've got the hassle with inclusions. And a lot of times I'll dunk it into the wintergreen oil, and there'll be like just a solid, you know, a fracture going straight through the middle of the stone, or three. Like I was getting started a few nights ago when I was still feeling pretty sick, and I was gonna do some preforms of these guys, and I looked at a couple of them, and they had these big fissures going through the good stuff. And I just couldn't do it anymore. I was like, okay, I'm getting disheartened, and I need to do this on another day where it's not going to super bum me out to see how much of these stones I lose. And so you go all the way out to the mine, and you do a day of mining, and then you get home and you get what you get, and you don't throw a fit as far as how many of these things out of, you know, hundreds of stones that you do get, how many of them are going to be facetable. And so I do have a schiller one here on the DOP to show you as well. And it started off about this size, and I did a preform, and I found the orientation for my schiller. Now, one of the things, like if it's super flat, blocky schiller, you might not want to put it straight on the crown, which this is going to be the crown end. No, it's not. It's going to be the pavilion. So this is going to be the bottom, and the top is stuck to the DOP right now. And so at any rate, you not only have to find the orientation so that, is it going to be in the crown, or are you going to try to reflect it through the stone? But does it agree with the shape of the rough? And are you going to be able to grab, like, how much stone out of that are you going to be able to grab? And so like all these big stones become like pretty small. And let me do this. When you start working with, okay, that's what I get, and I can't throw a fit. And that angle that is on this side that's like where the pavilion has to go. So I don't get anything bigger than cutting down to that angle appropriate to the standard round brilliant, or probably going to do we were talking about the low boy and some of the other cuts that you can do to adjust the standard round brilliant to work with different kinds of material. And this one's going to get adjusted because I'm going to have to go low on that. Hopefully I didn't leave some of you behind. Facetors kind of probably and understand what I'm talking about there. Like, feel me? Okay, so that is the Schiller Medillers. So pretty. But we definitely want to get into the colors, because that's what, you know, if I wanted the first two, I'd probably stay in the public collection, even though actually I would still have to go mining because you can't use those commercially, and I do mean to use these commercially. So I'm going to make some, just enjoy that scene there for a second. I'm going to get some water for this batch. And we'll have a look at the pretty colors in the water. And I haven't had a chance to really do much sorting yet. So hey Kyle, I'm way behind in the chat. So while I'm doing this, I need to. It was the one you already highlighted, or the one you were showing us already. Okay. Do you know if Refractol works on Sunstone? I'm not entirely sure. Did Patrick? Okay, hey Patrick, was putting Rachel to bed. I think it does. Although I saw in a thing about Sunstones specifically that the wintergreen oil was really good for it, and I would have to concur. It works really good, and I haven't used the Refractol. I could buy the wintergreen oil at my local health food store, so I was like, all right, that's what I'm doing. Let's see. Tumble them all in a vibratory tumbler. It makes it easier to decide which you like and which to work. Yeah, I don't have that tumbler. So I did just get a lovely tumbler that I'm still getting the motor worked on from Kyle, and hopefully not a regular tumbler, darn it. Okay, I just had to read that further because you'll lose too much. Okay, fair enough. Shoot, I might have to look around town to see if somebody's got a Vibe tumbler that I could like see if they wouldn't mind doing a batch. I did get some gifted to me that were tumbled. That you're absolutely right, Randy. It does make them easier to work on, for sure. Meanwhile, I'm kind of stuck with old school methods of trying to see these stones. But that's awesome that you're able to do that, Randy. Okay, Canadian Gemstones is in the house. Thank you to see. Can confirm chasing the cleavage planes is painful. Yeah, right? Hopefully I didn't just pour too many of those in other places. That was dirty. Got a dog hair already. So like I was saying, I haven't really had a chance to look at these yet. And so I'm excited to have a look. Let's see. Near London, Ontario. Nice of you to join us. Let's see. All right. Kyle's talking about his activity with the beneficent box that I received with the saw blade and the stones in it. And I thank you so much, Kyle, for your help as far as that was concerned. What an awesome surprise that was today. He actually was like, hey, go check your mailbox. I was like, huh? All right, I guess I have to leave the house. Let's see. All right, I think I'm all the facetors in plush area use wintergreen oil. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can't remember where I saw it, but I saw it on something, and it did seem to work so good. Okay, so what you guys are seeing here in the bin is we've got some strong colors, and then we have basically two colors that you see. And so I know I'm talking to a bunch of people who know about sunstones already, and then maybe some of you don't. So I'm kind of gonna go over it a little bit. I talked about it before, the valence of the copper. You get it all the way to a deep red. So you guys have to know that I can't wait to work on this. I hope that there isn't too much fractury badness in there, because that's a gorgeous stone. And you know, gosh, I'm sorry that Patrick just went to go put his girl down to bed, because you know, also you have to consider, okay, what shape is going to be the most optimal for cutting that into. And so this one will be a fun one to play with for sure, but I had to grab it because I know you guys all totally wanted to see that. Wait, there we go. Should probably grab a white piece of paper. But yeah, that valence, you know, causes it to typically change colors as you're seeing some different angles. So what looks like, you know, sometimes if you're lucky, what looks like red from one angle gets to be green from another, and then you have a dichroic stone. And then, you know, sometimes you get the trifecta. You've got like the schiller, green, and red all in a stone. So we're seeing a little bit of that dichroic right here. So let me see if I can't pick it up. And then the one that's right next to it there just flashed some schiller. So we know at least that one is schillery. And oh yeah, I think did I just see schiller in this one too? So oftentimes they have it all, guys. Is that fair, decent lighting? I'm gonna just show you that for a second and try to catch up on the chat. Oh, that looks like schiller, but it might be the reflection. Okay, hold on. Oh my, that is gorgeous. Yes. Yes, Soul, it is. The red is truly, that's a very richly colored stone, and I'm gonna have to do something very special with it, like a Coke bottle. I mean, Coca-Cola color. Yeah. Whatever. Beautimus and rare. So Kyle's is Secret Squirrel Command Center, right? Actually, I opened the box and it was like a glitter bomb, but it was pepper spray. Let's see. Oh, Rufo is here. Good to see ya. Oh, you're gonna go to Topaz Mountain. How totally exciting. You're gonna have such a good time. Well, very, very good luck to you, Rufo, with your splendid adventure. Should probably bring that closer so that, or do I want to zoom for that? Because you guys could get a better look. There we go. Isn't this the perfect music for this? There we go. I don't know if you guys can hear the music, but like it's like the perfect sexy mood. All right, so there we have a dichroic stone. I don't know if you guys, I've been trying to look at the chat, and so I haven't been watching it, but it actually looks fairly clear. And so I'm probably going to be able to snatch that color, and that's going to be another one where, or, you know, You have to choose what plane, what axis, so that you can see the color that you want, and you know, show off what's good about the stone with your shape and the axis that you've chosen. And so that's a lot. And so so far it's been really great to work with a lot of schiller and champagne stones because there's less to mess up, if I'm being honest. Okay, where is my light bar? Or will it wash out the camera? Oh, that's a good idea. That's exactly why I had it, and that's why you guys are here. Thank you, Randy, for being my brain. Which one did you want to see? Maybe both? Okay, you guys, shelter your eyes just for a second. Oh, yeah, my phone doesn't like to deal with that, I guess. There we go. That's better. Let's do that. Good thinking, Randy. You're hired. Oh, I just dropped it into the soup. I'm sure I'll be able to find it, though. Hold on. Nobody panic. Where'd it go? How hard could that be to go? That's like a different one. I'll just load up the board like Kyle. I simply can't. Oh, is that it? I don't know. Name that sunstone. Is that it? I don't think so. Oh my gosh. Where did it go? Oh, is that it? I think that's it. That's it. There. Claim 3. Yeah, right. Okay, so that was that just banger red one that we were looking at before. This works quite nice, actually. Whoa, too close. Sorry, I'm just gonna ruin it because it was working so nice. I just thought maybe it would be nice to see it closer, but maybe not so much. Okay, so you're seeing this guy that is now showing off its green watermelon halo. So it's like a little baby watermelon one. And I think is that a different one? It might actually be. But yeah, it's looking pretty inclusion free. And so I'm pretty sure that one's going to be a good one. We just have to choose a good shape for it. We've got another kind of watermelon-y one right here. You can see that like whole strand right there is the color. Now we definitely get a little skinny as far as the depth goes. And not sure what orientation we would really want with that one. I'd have to take a much closer look and see what the color was doing. You know, one thing with a sunstone is that you can do something of an emerald cut or a cut that one would use on a tourmaline that's a little bit more like a long rectangle or something like that, so that you kind of isolate what's good about the stone and you can work the angles that way. Let's see. Did I make the light bar myself? No, I actually, a few, I don't know, 6 of the live streams ago, I'm pretty sure is when I got this, maybe more. And I got it at grocery outlet for $10. So not a bad purchase, huh? I mean, I was really rolling the dice on it. And I was like, you know, I that's enough. Like, that's cheap enough that if it doesn't work, you know, I can use it for something else. I'll mount it over the, you know, a faucet in the laundry room or something like that. All right. Let's see. That looks like a textbook about sunstone gems. Yeah, like sort of a little bit pro. Okay, so I'm gonna clear the board if everybody's made their claims. Spot just saw a tutorial on a little bench size light box on Saturday. Oh, wait a second. I think I was lurking for Kyle's. Maybe that was Tuesday, because I'm pretty sure I was busy on Saturday mining. But yeah, Kyle made one in a pinch. Maybe I need to. Hey, Kyle, you want one of these? If I can find them again, I'll get you a light bar. Fun fact, the green in the watermelon is a new mineral, protoenstatite. That was Tuesday. Yes, Cynthia, I thought so. That was Tuesday. Yeah, I wouldn't know that. Given the kind of week I've had, I don't know what day of the week it is right now, but I'm pretty sure I was lurking, having just gotten back and not feeling well, and I think that there was a light box situation going on for quite some time, actually. But I think you nailed it, and so there you go, guys. Wow, pretty. All right, I'm going to load her up again with some others, but yeah, I guess that there's I didn't really talk about this one. There's some green in there. So one of the things that Chris did, the owner of the mine, is he drove out to the green bed, the green hole, the green dig area, and he came back with some good stuff for us. It's pretty happy about it, and so I'm just taking a little handful this time. We'll just see what we get. So I really was excited about getting some greens because that's a little bit more rare than the red ones. And so if I can get good at isolating, then we'll have some exciting green sunstones coming up. And they can be so gorgeous. They can go into teal. They can look like swimming pool water. It's just an elegant green. So I'm very hopeful that I can figure out how to be a good cutter for them. Let's see. Oh no. Not the only one who doesn't know what day it is. Yeah, Tuesday. I'm surprised at how quickly you made that too, considering you started from scratch and you needed the inspiration on how to engineer that bad boy, Kyle. And so kudos to you. Today is bring in the trash cans day. That's tomorrow for us. Or right now. Canadian Gemstone had, oh, that's right. The green in the watermelon is a new mineral. So the green in the watermelon sunstones Canadian, or are you talking about maybe the tourmaline? I'm interested. A new mineral that is really intense. Protoenstatite. If that's, I just looked up. I love learning. Oh, wow. So I just saw the Thirst Fast that he just looked it up, or she. I'm not sure who's thirst. They. Oh, thank you, Manny. Sure, hit that like button. I appreciate that. All the support. You guys are all so very supportive, and it does help the channel bunches. And I just can't believe like the channel's been kind of like rolling up steam, and I just have to thank you all for that, because I really appreciate all of your support, and you guys are all so much fun to hang out with. Thanks for hanging. The other Chris. Elegant green applied to swimming pool water, but hey, if it works for you. Yeah, you know, I know what you mean though. Like that liquid color, a lot of times you kind of think of more of an aqua blue-ish. But yeah. So all right, don't judge. I've been in some green pools. It seems like I just saw that. We went to the mineral hot springs there at Summer Lake in Oregon, in beautiful Central Oregon, and the water was like a beautiful sort of greenish color, and it was elegant. Don't argue for it, Karen. It's the type of thing I would want to paint. It's so pretty. It's in the feldspar. Thank you, Thirst Fast. I'm excited to go check that out. Nanoscale inclusions. Yay, cool. I'm learning too. I'm like new enough that I am definitely down for all the learning. Is it Canadian? Da 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 or dun dun dun. Canadian dun dun dun. Um, so small it took forever to ID. That's so neat. All right, so this is a pretty large one. You can tell by the size of my tweezers. There's a large color area in there. Very excited. I can remember seeing this one on, I think I alluded to that it's a belt run. There will be a video so you guys can see what the heck I'm talking about if you haven't ever heard of a belt run before. There we go, little focus. This is not going to be easy. And so when you're doing the belt run, they have a conveyor belt that takes the rocks that they have just loaded into a hopper, and they are classified to some degree. And they come down the conveyor belt and you snatch them off of that conveyor belt as quickly as you can, not missing anything, and it's super stressful for an hour. Or it's an absolute delight. It's both. It's like drinking 5 espressos for me and being in a candy store, but knowing that I only have an hour there and trying to snatch up everything I can possibly get my hands on. And so you can see where there's like some pretty rich color there. If I cut it this way, then it would be kind of long and not as dark. There's thin and darker, or super rich, or some amalgam. Do I cut it at a different angle? But you can see how much loss is going to be. Like, I just want the color, right? Or if I do a carving, I could do both the color and not. It just depends. But you can see decisions for people that don't love to make decisions. That's good news for everyone that likes bad news. And there's just a little bit of color in that one, so you can see some of them are a little bit weaker. This one's a really nice one here. So this one's got both the green, the red, and the schiller. So that one will be an interesting one to try to find which axis to cut it on. Trying to adjust the light so that maybe I can get the schiller to bounce too. Yeah. So some nice color. And so this is kind of where I make up for whatever it was that I spent on getting a belt run at the Spectrum Mine. Because for me, if I just cut and set a few of these stones, then I will have made my money back. And it's not that it's about money for me. It's really a privilege to be able to go out there and talk to Chris and Denise and to enjoy the rabbit hills and be able to find this stuff. But yeah, in the real world, I also have to subsidize, like, gas being what it is. I'm going to take some of the more like really intense colors so that you guys can have a look at that real quick. I'm so excited to do some research after this. Again, thank you, Canadian Gemstones, for the information. I'm gonna read up about the mineral that you're talking about. And so I picked this one up because it's a dichroic, and it's one that you see from one angle, and it is one color, not like a watermelon. It's literally, oh gosh, I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to do this any justice. This is going to be really hard. I can see through the phone. But explaining what I'm talking about is the fact that if you hold one of these stones in one direction, it looks like it's one color. And then when you change the direction, it's not like it's just a it's not just a watermelon that you actually get the other color, just only red. And so actually it might not be this one. This one might, although that's fairly red, having a hard time seeing. But this one has a lot of fracturing in it, you guys. So how like intense that color is, am I going to be able to get a decent sized stone from that? Or am I going to have to keep on minimizing, especially considering the orientation of the color, until we've got a teeny weeny? Now I have another enter another visual aid. Hello. So when you're doing a sunstone, I isolated, this is the first of this batch, and I did just pluck it out of the water when we were washing off the stones, like, there we go. And it was a tiny one. I'll show you another one that was about the same size. And what you want to do is you want to orient the color at the very least. Now, it was so small that, you know, this is a 2 millimeter dot, guys. And I'm working on the pavilion right now. We'll do this as soon as I get off of the live stream with you guys. You want to orient the color in the bottom of the pavilion and then go from there. And so that's what I did. And I'm practicing that, you know, being new to faceting and obviously not knowing everything about sunstones either. So what I'm going to try to do here is I'm going to tip it up so that you can kind of see what's going on with the color. So you want to orient it so you're looking down through that color as rich as it'll go, kind of like what I was showing you in that iceberg of the big stone. Like, just you can look down the center of the color and the whole stone becomes that, you know, beautiful ruby red. But you can see how clear some of that sunstone was up towards the dop end. And so by the time I'm done faceting this guy, I should be at about that tall. Like, where my tweezers are gone, and probably even not quite that tall, like about there. And so you'll see that the entire stone will be that color, and therefore, hopefully, if I cut it well, it'll be rich. Sunstone Kenobi, well, hello there. That's great. Yeah, so anyways, I just wanted to give you a working example of what happens when, you know, so you've seen this part and you start identifying these are much bigger color blobs than what I had to work with that little guy. Here's another one that I started to preform for a DOP. Like, that other guy was a little bit bigger than this guy, but that's some pretty nice color that I'm isolating, and will cut probably like a 3 millimeter stone out of, which is small, but I'm practicing. And this guy will be, I think I measured it at a 4.5 millimeter stone when it's done, if I don't have to go back and take more off for some reason. Okay, really quickly gonna, wow, that's Jimmy. I'm catching up. Big fracture down the middle, though. Good news for everyone that loves bad news. Yes, you're exactly right, Kyle. I'm guilty. I'm a Modest Mouse lover. Dollar Stone. Well, hello, yes. Oh, I'm so sorry that your devices keep on freezing on you, Lisa. Yeah, it'll turn out fun. Patrick, are you gonna get down to the Sunstones? I would love to see what I know that you've got some. Did you end up getting some color from Kyle, or have you gone? I'm wondering. Inquiring minds want to know what light bar is that. It works great. You know what? I threw away the packaging. I am an idiot because it would be great to know what the heck this is. It's from the not the dollar store, grocery outlet, and I think I saw them maybe the last time that I was in there, and so I will check again and I will let you guys know. I don't think it's got any information. As soon as we unload this, then we can take a look. So deep red, going to be a great stone. Just got to choose the right orientation. And then you see stones that are a little bit like they might have like, you know, some more peachy color to them, or red or green, just depending on which way you turn them, or schiller. It's an orientation game for sure. I'm just wondering where that, I know I saw right before I picked it up the one that was more a true like color changing dichroic. That's so interesting with this. The Sunstones do this a fair amount. They will have these patches kind of like a candy where, you know, you've got like this like flavor center, and most of the time it's solo, but sometimes it's dual. And unfortunately, sometimes when you see dual color patches, it means that there's a big fissure, an inclusion, a crack down the middle. And these guys have like this incredible perfect cleavage too, so it could have something to do with that as well. But that's some nice color. And so you guys will be definitely seeing more of that. Did we see enough green? I had one on the bar before that had like this little tip of green that I was going to say something about, and I don't think I did. But yeah, this is definitely the batch. Oh, I think this is the color changing one. Let's see. That looks fairly green on camera, but it looks red from where I'm sitting, so maybe that's it. But yeah, we got some ones that throw some incredible green, and so I'm really excited to work with those. Yeah, Modest Mouse is awesome. Okay, like if we ever go on a road trip together, Kyle, we know what the soundtrack is going to be. As you move the stone on your finger, do you ever orient it vertically so it will flash as you move the stone on your finger? Yes. That's interesting. It's cool with the angles. So Randy asked that question, and what I'm trying to answer here is that the angles in the pavilion, the bottom of the stone, you know, whatever you frame in the top of the stone as far as the inclusion goes, is going to show that, you know, through a window, right? But the stuff that goes down through the stone is going to get reflected by the angles of that pavilion. And so if you have top to bottom schiller, it may actually, you know, pick up on the reflection through the pavilion, also being viewable from like a side, or when you roll your finger, like rolling color play in an opal, if I got your question right. And that can be incredibly lovely. I think that's what you were asking. Let me know. Is there a model on it? Yeah, I'm gonna, when we unload that thing, I'm gonna go ahead and check. You got a few colors from Kyle Patrick. Good. Not sure you'll make it to the mines this year. Yeah, they're gonna, not this weekend, but the next weekend, I think they're closing. Is it LED? I don't know, Cynthia Foss. You'd almost think that it should be like pulsating if it's an LED. So I don't know. Great stuff, Karen. Gotta go. Thank you so much, Thirst Fast. Go put that chevron amethyst into the next grit. And sand by orient it, do you mean schiller? Yeah, I think that's what he meant. If I caught him, or maybe the color too. Not sure, Patrick, but I'm sure he's gonna. Okay. Yes, and yes, good. Chris in the Clouds. I'd love to see some Thunder Eggs next. Okay, Chris in the Clouds, check this out. I don't have a welcome to the chat for one thing. Welcome to the live. Thank you so much for coming by. And I don't have any Thunder Eggs set up for tonight, but I did just get a new saw blade, and I got a nest of Thunder Eggs down in my rock pile that are waiting. That's part of the big cue from getting my my new saw blade, was that I've got some serious Thunder Eggs to do some cutting on. So those guys are going away. Thanks for having a look at some of that color. Plenty more of that to go. Can't wait to go through that. What a good time at the mines. Again, if you have a chance to go out to the Sunstone mines, that yeah, it's the 15th. Is that more than when I said away? Okay, it's a few more weekends, 3 weekends I think you have. Thank you, Kyle. But yeah, if you get a chance to go and visit the Sunstone mines, specifically Spectrum will take care of you. They do a great job. I keep on going back after the experiences that I've had there. They're very, very, very generous and always super cool. We specifically have the tendency to chat with Denise a lot, and she's super sweet. And so if you go, say hi for me. And I do recommend that you go. Look at that. It's dark outside. I'm showing the effects, I think, at this point of the pepper spray. Let's see, did I miss anything? Yeah, like Karen said, it's usually better to orient it like that rather than parallel to the table, because if you do it parallel, it can just, it's just a reflector that can kill light play in the stone. Perfect. Yeah, it's like a wet blanket for the light. Although in this guy that I showed you, I decided, because it has some interesting degrees of flash, like a couple different ones, and so I was like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and choose this angle, and we'll see what works. Although I would say that this is one of the stones where I took a little bit less into account on the trying to orient the schiller just right, and was paying attention to getting as much of the stone as possible. I haven't been on the faceting machine almost all summer long, and so I did want to get into some of the fun color that we got on our trip, and then at the same time I don't want to ruin stones, and so I thought I would warm up with a few kind of fun projects. They're all fun, but it gets a little bit more nail biting and nerve wracking when you start working with better stones that you don't want to ruin. And I get my part that should fix my machine's depth gauge hopefully next month, and so you're gonna see all the different other shapes and cuts starting to come out of the studio instead of just the standard round brilliance and the brilliant varieties I can do. I figured out how, like, I can work the math, and I kind of have to work the meats in order for the stones to work. And so it's going to be really exciting to have a properly calibrated machine, so I don't have to depend on meats in order to get the stones proportions to work out right. And so with that, I have to thank all you guys so much, not only for coming, but also for the great the stories about how I got sprayed. Those were so entertaining. I'm going to go back and read through all of those. That was great. And thank you for your generosity once again. I really, really appreciate the gifting, especially that anonymous, you know, is just beyond the scope of my imagination, how generous this community is. And so you guys know I love you all. And cheers, like for real. Douche. Steinkern, to you and your families. I hope you guys all have a wonderful weekend. Stay healthy. Stay warm out there, Lisa. Oh my gosh, and Sean just like dropped in the house at the very last minute. You know, I'm gonna catch up on everybody's videos and be able to indulge in that, hopefully just while I'm lying in bed and catching up on things. But yeah, stay safe, stay healthy. I really appreciate you guys all coming by. And you've been here the whole time. Lurking. Well, thanks again. And we will see you next time. Go and hit Kyle's live tomorrow night or tomorrow day. His live sale. I'll probably be hanging out. And have a great weekend. I think that's it. So cheers. See ya.